We'll get over to Olivia to talk about tornadoes.
Well, Rob, we've been talking about Nicole's potential to bring tornadoes to the low country, and as you check on that watcher warning, we want to talk exactly about how they form. Most are a result of supercell thunderstorms, and in these systems, there are persistent updrafts that can reach speeds up to 100 miles per hour. When wind shear, which is the difference of wind speed and direction at different heights in the atmosphere, causes a horizontally rotating cylinder of air to form, it is then lifted into the air by the strong updraft. As the rotating cylinder of air narrows and it picks up speed, it becomes stretched vertically and eventually forms a tornado as it touches down to the surface. If a tornado forms due to Nicole, it will likely not last very long and be relatively weak, although it may come with little to no warning because it will form very quickly. However, if tornadoes do form, we'll be on the air and have the latest for you on counton2.com. In studio, I'm Storm Team 2 meteorologist Olivia Lawrence, and now we're going to send it back over to Chief Meteorologist Rob Fowler with an update.
Okay, Olivia, just a second ago, live on the air, you saw it. That tornado warning did pop up, and now we've got Storm Team 2 Live Viper. You can see, let me read you the official statement from the National Weather Service. Tornado warning for parts of Colleton County and Dorchester County until 5:45. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado located near Knightsville, moving northwest at 45 miles an hour. So again, the locations included in this warning: Somerville, St. George, Gibbons Ferry State Park, Cottageville, Gibbons, Canadees, and Knightsville. This is a brand new tornado warning that was just issued really live on the air. You saw it pop up right there. Let me go to our storm relative, and what we're looking at right here, you might be able to see this is an area of some circulation right there along Beach Hill Road. It's pretty broad in terms of our storm winds, but Ashley River Road, Cook Crossroads, Beach Hill, that would be an area where we do see potentially some rotation. So this is, again, what we call a couplet, where basically you have winds coming towards the radar and away from the radar. I'll kind of draw it in there for you. So sometimes you have the green showing the winds coming towards and the red going out. So that's where we have some circulation. So let me zoom in once again, give you kind of a bearing on where we think this circulation is, this rotation is. And again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning that has the potential of producing a tornado. We're not saying there is a tornado going on, but that's one thing that Storm Team 2 Live Viper can do, is it can look inside these storms and it actually can see exactly where potential rotation is. And that's what we're looking at least for the moment. We're also noticing this area right here. This is right near Canaan. Just see the difference in color. That might be some stronger winds there that the National Weather Service is looking at also. This is what's called a storm relative velocity product. It's part of what's going on with Storm Team 2 Live Viper. Let me get you caught up on the reflectivity. And again, there is this area right here. It's most likely this cell right there along Old Beach Hill Road that we talked about that is indicating where we do have potentially some circulation. Olivia, I'm going to have you come over here. I'm going to go over to the weather wall, and again, tornado warning just issued moments ago for parts of Colleton County as well as Dorchester County. And most likely it is this area that we're talking about right there. You can see, again, until 5:45. This cell is moving northwest at 45 miles an hour. And right there, that latest scan on Storm Team 2 Live Viper, you see that little, it's almost like a little hook. There, stop it right there, Olivia. You see we've got some inflow of the air right there. So right there, let's zoom in on that area right now, Olivia, if we can, because that would be our most concern. We talked about Old Beach Hill Road. So coming out 61, there's 17A. And in this area, if you could go in just a little bit closer and stop the loop, I think we'll be able to kind of see exactly what's happening right in this area. That appears to be the region that the National Weather Service has looked at, and that's why they issued this particular warning. So can we go in a little bit closer, and let's see if there's any roads here that we can identify. Let's see, that's, again, Old Beach Hill Road. We see that. There's Coachman's Corners, just to give you kind of a landmark. A little bit closer so we can see some of these roads. Again, not much is down there, at least. That road, Edie Road, Beach Hill Road, coming all the way out towards the road, that is. And again, so pull back out just a little bit. And again, so just if you're joining us, a tornado warning while we were on the air popped up on the screen. Goes until 5:45 here for parts of Colleton and Dorchester County. So since it's moving to the northwest, it has an opportunity of impacting portions of Colleton County as well. So also elsewhere, you can see the warning continues really down to the south and east, so it's not including Ladson. Looks like Somerville just outside the warning, even though it's close enough, at least parts of Somerville we need to be wary of, especially on that western side. And then you notice it does extend over towards Cottageville. So Cottageville, you're also in that warning area. And again, a tornado watch. So just moments ago, just really live on the air, a new tornado watch has now been issued. So this area shaded in yellow, this is the brand new tornado watch. We had an inclination that they would extend this watch northbound, and they have. They just did it. We had the warning first, and now the watch has come up. Olivia, how long does this watch go? I'm probably sure it goes until 11 or 12 o'clock tonight, if not even later than that. But this watch just went up. So the counties, that goes to Berkeley County, Charleston County, Dorchester County, and Colleton County, and then down to the south. We also have Hampton County involved in this brand new tornado watch. The tornado warning goes until 5:45 here tonight. So other than that, we have these cells that are producing very heavy rain. We've kind of highlighted those moving right along Interstate 26, heading out towards 95. So that's kind of what we're looking at for the moment. So I'll kind of step out of the way and give you a look at what's going on in terms of this tornado warning. I want to check the storm relative velocity product again. We'll kind of zoom in. Just this area right here where we're getting, let's see here. All right, I don't see much in the way of any circulation at this point. Maybe right here where we're getting a little bit different colors. That's some stronger winds there. That certainly is one thing that we'll be kind of keeping an eye on. Let me go back to the reflectivity. And the actual watch itself, this goes, hang on a second. The tornado watch goes until 7 o'clock. So extends it. So basically what it did is extended that watch down from the south to the north. So it does go until 7 o'clock. We'll see if they do extend that out even further in time just for that reason. But there are some more cells that are offshore that we've got to keep an eye on, at least for the moment. I'll put this in motion for you, and you can kind of see how the cells are moving. They're moving to the north and west. And again, the one cell that spawned this tornado warning is moving about 45 miles an hour. So before you know it, it's going to be moving out of this warned area. We'll see if they extend that warning, but at least for the moment, that is not the case. All right, let's see. Yeah, it goes until 7 o'clock tonight. So basically, there was a watch put up earlier, the tornado watch. They just extended that watch. So it's not going beyond 7 o'clock at this particular time. But let's see here. I'll get some of the communities that are getting very heavy rain right now. Over there at Old Beach Road, Pierce Road, Augusta Highway, Highway 17, Gibbons. Looks like you're right in that area now. Again, tornado warning. That's the area that you see kind of cordoned off right here. In the red, this is the tornado warning that goes until 5:45. 5:45. Let's see. All right, yeah, we talked about Highway 61. So it looks like that seems to be an area that the cell is moving. There's 61 right there. So anywhere along 61. If you're watching us tonight from Holly Ridge, if you're watching us tonight right along Augusta Highway, over there at Pierce Road, Shad Lane, Campbell Road, we need you guys to just be safe and try to get to your safe place as quickly as possible, just for that reason that it seems to be running right along Highway 61, moving northwest at a very, very quick rate, 45 miles an hour. And that's very common. These typically do move pretty quickly, and that's exactly what is going on at this particular time. Other than that, these cells are producing very heavy rain. I don't see any lightning in these, so not terribly unusual. But so I'll give you a broad look at the tornado watch area. Again, there was the watch up until Beaufort County earlier, and what has now been extended northbound would be Hampton County has been added to that, Colleton County, Dorchester, Berkeley, and of course Charleston County. All right, I'm going to go back over towards the wall, and let's see what's going on. Olivia, I'll let you kind of run the controls over here. So if you're just joining us, and I know a lot of times you say, well, you keep repeating yourself, but we know that some people are joining us right in progress, that they've gotten home, they're turning on the TV, and they're seeing what's going on. So let me kind of recap what's happening. This all has to do with Tropical Storm, now Tropical Storm Nicole. Made landfall earlier today as a hurricane just to the near Vero Beach, Florida, about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So now we're getting the broad circulation, very typical. You get those feeder bands coming in, and this one came in. As far as what the warning is, it's a tornado warning for a severe thunderstorm that has the potential of producing a tornado. We don't have any confirmation of a tornado on the ground. We thought we might have seen a little bit of rotation within that storm. We thought we might have seen just a little notch in inflow. I don't see that going on. Just looking at what's happening now, I just don't see that at this particular time. What I do see, though, is very heavy rainfall and the potential that any of these thunderstorms, actually we don't have any lightning, but this cell certainly could produce a quick tornado. And as these cells moving to the northwest at 45 miles an hour, basically Highway 61 is the area that it seems to be running parallel to. So parts of Dorchester County is under this warning, parts of Colleton County is under this warning, and this goes until 5:45. So the warning, the tornado warning until 5:45, the tornado watch goes until 7 o'clock. What will be interesting to see is if they do extend this watch beyond 7 o'clock. This is an extension of a watch that was issued earlier today. So it's other counties have been added to the watch. Olivia, you have some information.
Yes, Rob, at this time we are seeing low-level circulation that's becoming better defined near Gibbons State Park from the National Hurricane Center. This tornado warning has been issued and continued until 7 o'clock for areas such as Colleton and Dorchester, South Carolina. There is a severe thunderstorm very capable of producing a tornado right over Gibbons Ferry State Park. As I mentioned, that low-level circulation is becoming better defined and more clear, meaning that it is moving northwest at 40 miles per hour, and their chance of circulation to become rotation is going to only increase, as you highlight, right around the area of Highway 61.
Okay, so there's 61. If we can kind of zoom in, this is the area that they're really looking at in particular. There's 61. Again, we mentioned some of those areas. Hughes Drive, you're getting very heavy rain down there. Over, again, Augusta Highway, Red Oak Road, over towards Rehoboth Road. I see some very heavy rainfall for you. Chisholm Road. So all of these areas have the potential of not just seeing heavy rain, but also are within that tornado warned area. It's a pretty large area that encompasses parts of 2 counties, including Dorchester and Colleton counties. The actual tornado watch goes until 7 o'clock tonight. As Olivia mentioned, we are seeing some signs of rotation. We kind of pointed that out a few minutes ago. So these are the areas that we've got to keep watch on. I'm going to come back over and let's run the controls just a little bit. I want to take a look at a couple of things, Olivia, and you keep watch on NWS chat. So yeah, let's go over towards, let's see if I can pop up one of the products. Here we go. So it says the Gibbons State Park. Okay, this is, let's see, a little bit of rotation, a little bit of circulation up there. That's along Wire Road. So,
and again, this morning, Rob and Olivia, this is Colleton and Dorchester County. So a lot of people in this area, very densely populated area, and that extended watch will actually be until 7 o'clock tonight. If you could clarify who is in that extended watch that lasts until 7?
yeah, absolutely. So what you see, and it's hard to see under, but you see that basically the county's shaded in yellow, and they're under, I'll put the reflectivity, which basically is the rainfall. You can see Berkeley County, you're in there, Charleston County, Dorchester County, Colleton County, Hampton County was added also.
That's all in that watch that lasts until 7 o'clock?
That lasts until 7 o'clock. So this was already a watch that was issued, but basically the National Weather Service said, let's extend this because we do see some low-level circulation. So within this warned area, and you guys, we mentioned that we're talking about Dorchester County and Colleton County. So where you see this red polygon, kind of highlighting it for you, this is where we have the actual warned area. And most likely in this region along 61, we're getting, let me clear that out for you, we're getting some rotation, some at least heavy rain. And that's all over towards Holly Ridge and Hughes Drive, Rehoboth Road. And then also as we head up the road just a little bit along Highway 78, you can see within that warned area. So there's St. George. St. George looks like you've got some very heavy rain nearby. So as we go over towards Old St. George Road and Batham Road, that's where some of the heaviest rain is. I'm going to put this in motion, and once we can get this out of here, things will quiet down a little bit. But at least in the short term, all right, you can see, let's see, tornado.
Rob, Carolyn, at this time, we are seeing that tornado watch issued for Berkeley, Charleston, Colleton, Dorchester, and Hampton counties in South Carolina. That watch includes the Charleston Harbor, coastal waters from South Santee River towards Edisto Beach, out about 20 nautical miles from shore. The waters from South Santee River, South Carolina to Edisto Beach, extending 20 to 40 nautical miles out to shore, are included in this tornado watch until 7 o'clock tonight. Again, at Storm Team 2, we remind you to watch for a warning. The tornado warning that has been issued includes radar indicated hail at about just less than 3/4 of an inch for Colleton and Dorchester County. That's extended from 5:45 all the way through 7 o'clock. A severe thunderstorm that's capable of producing a tornado was located just over Gibbons Ferry State Park, moving northwest at about 40 miles per hour. Of course, Rob, as you mentioned, we will see this clearing out in just the next couple of minutes or so because it's moving quickly. But again, that low-level circulation becoming better defined, producing some pretty strong rain in the Cottageville area right now.
Yeah, so this is, again, the region. If you're just joining us, Cottageville officially not necessarily in the tornado warning, but close enough. And this would be the area that the National Weather Service and Storm Team 2 Live Viper has been looking at and kind of dissecting, if you will, for the potential for some rotation. I haven't seen a lot of rotation. Many times you'll see the green and the red together, and that basically what we call a couplet. But in this case, I don't see a lot of that going on, but enough that it certainly is possible. And this is leading into today, this is exactly what we anticipated would happen, the fact that we could have some rotation because of these onshore rain bands moving in, the broad circulation around what was Hurricane Nicole, now Tropical Storm Nicole. So what do you need to do? Well, obviously, we have kind of a checklist. What you want to do is if you're in this area, make sure you get to the interior part of your home. Put as many walls between you and the outside of the house as possible. If you have a two-story house, go to the bottom floor, find the pantry, find a closet, find the bathroom. If it's in the interior, stay away from windows. That's the best thing that we can do right now. Obviously, you don't want to, if you're outside, you don't want to try to go see the tornado. You don't want to get in a car and try to outrun the tornado. Keep in mind now, we have to follow the roads. Tornadoes don't. They can cut across a field and kind of cut you off at the pass. So that's one reason we always say for folks, if you can, to get to a safe place, get to a reinforced structure, and that would be the best thing to do. So, Olivia, any more new information?
Yes, Rob, as per the National Weather Service at 5:35, circulation is weakening quickly. The cell is becoming elevated as it gets deeper into the wedge, so that's good news as we continue to see this move out the area. It is weakening quickly along that 40 miles per hour track.
Okay, that's what we were hoping, and I think when we went inside the storm, we didn't see a lot of that circulation, so that's the best news we can give you. But in the short term, again, that warning does go until 5:45, so we've got about another 10 minutes or so. The warning, I don't think the National Weather Service will discontinue this until the warned area is clear, and that will be very, very soon. Thankfully, these are moving very quickly. They're moving 45 miles an hour, so they will be out of the warned area. I don't think, based on what Olivia just said from the National Weather Service, I don't think they'll reissue this warning, but this could be the beginning of a very active period for us into the evening and even into the overnight. When Olivia mentioned the wedge, keep in mind now that we've had winds coming in from the north and east, so that's really kind of kept a lot of us cooler than normal today. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, south of that area, we've had southeasterly winds coming in around the broad circulation of what is now Tropical Storm Nicole. So eventually the southeast winds will win out. They're going to take over where the cool area is, and once they take over, then you've got more moisture added to the mix. You've got a lot of difference in winds. One thing that these tropical systems do, and as you see kind of a broader picture of some of the rain bands moving on shore, keep in mind now, weather is three-dimensional. So you've got winds that are moving above us without any friction. So you don't have the buildings, you don't have the trees to slow the air down. But on the surface you do. So sometimes what happens is you get these winds blowing on the surface, they're going to slow down a little bit because they encounter friction, whereas the winds above are going to continue to be strong. So that's what we get. We get wind shear, basically a twisting of the winds with height. We also get winds moving faster or slower with height. So that's one thing we have to watch out for. So that also can be some of those ingredients that can help to spin up some of these storms. Heavier rain has moved into upper Dorchester County. We've got heavier rain right along the Dorchester-Colleton County line that extend all the way over into Moncks Corner. We've got very heavy rain in the forest. It looks like things are coming down for you. Even though most of the rain in the forest appears to be light right now. And then you may be watching us from Hanahan and Somerville and North Charleston and Mount Pleasant saying, hey, it's not raining at all. You've had your rain, but it's not raining currently now. Again, tornado warning goes until 5:45. It looks like, oh, I thought maybe they discontinued it, but that was just, can we go to the storm relative velocity real quick, Olivia, and let's just see if we can see anything. What you noticed a little while ago, we had these little dots of red on there. I just don't see those anymore. We have different colors indicating maybe some stronger winds in this area, but in terms of any circulation rotation, I just don't see it. And then you've got the tornado warned area. So if you're watching us tonight, generally from Somerville, you're okay. It's moved out of your area. Not too concerned about that. Ridgeville, I think we're okay. It's really heading more towards upper Dorchester County. If you're watching us right along Interstate 95 out towards St. George, that would be an area that I would still be a little bit concerned about, but not as concerned as when this warning was issued, because at that time we did have a fairly decent circulation showing up on our signature and not as much right now. Walterboro, I think you're okay for the moment. All right, we'll go back to the reflectivity and see what the rainfall is, rainfall totals. These rainfall rates are probably pretty extensive. So at the very least, you are getting some heavy rain that continues to move on in, but most areas are starting to see that rain. Olivia, do you have another update? Just want to double check with the National Weather Service if anything is new, but what we do know is they have decided that, again, not as much circulation, not as much rotation inside the storm as we saw just a little while ago.
Rob, from the National Weather Service, expire at 5:45. That is when it was set to expire, and because we're seeing this system weaken as it approaches the wedge, we are likely to see that expire. It doesn't seem as though the National Weather Service will reissue the warning. Now the thunderstorm and tornado watch is going to be extended, it seems, just for the next couple of hours until about 7 o'clock for areas including the Charleston Harbor, the coastal waters stretching from South Santee River all the way towards Edisto Beach. That watch extends through Berkeley, Charleston, Colleton, Dorchester, and Hampton counties. But again, at this time, we are seeing circulation pretty much dissipating in that tornado watch and warning, and that will likely expire at about 5:45 tonight.
Okay, if you could do me one favor, if you could really broaden the picture, let me just kind of give people an overall perspective at what's going on. So maybe a little bit farther out, I just want to show these rain bands here. These are the ones that will continue to move towards the coast. You see this little area that's just to the south and southeast of Savannah. These are the little cells, what we call discrete cells, that have the opportunity of seeing some rotation. Even water spouts that could form offshore, they could make their way onshore. A lot of people ask about water spouts. Water spouts, yes, they do form, but typically they encounter that friction. So even though they don't have friction over the water, once they get on land and they do encounter the buildings and the trees, they tend to dissipate. Not saying that they always do, but certainly most of the time. But in some cases, they do maintain their rotation all the way from the water back on land and become from a waterspout to a land-based tornado. Still, a tornado warning is in effect for a small part of Colleton County and parts of Dorchester County for another 3 minutes if my watch or the clock is correct at 5:42. You see, we got lightning strikes. These are the ones that are offshore. We saw those, and again, these cells will be working their way closer to the coast. But fortunately, it looks like we're going to get a bit of a break. There's not a lot going on right off the coast. There was just a little while ago, and I've been tracking this area for a while. This is the one that came right over downtown Charleston. It came right over Mount Pleasant. Our rain gauge going into, I'd say 4 o'clock was about 7,800 hundredths. Now we've had over an inch. So we got about a quick 3/10 of an inch of rain right here at Channel 2 because of this area. And you see we've got lightning strikes going on. So there is lightning. Obviously, if you hear thunder, you're close enough to be struck by lightning. Olivia?
That Tornado warning has expired,
Okay.
Rob, for Colleton and Dorchester counties in South Carolina. We're still waiting to see that watch expire, but that will likely be extended. At this time, the National Weather Service of Charleston has expired the tornado warning for both Colleton and Dorchester counties.
Okay, so basically, if you're watching us tonight, you can take a breath. The warning has expired. It is no longer in effect. It will disappear from our map here in just a couple of minutes or so, but it is no longer in effect. Basically, a tornado watch does continue now for the next hour, at least an hour and some change. It goes until 7 o'clock. We'll see if the National Weather Service, or in this case, the Storm Prediction Center, who issues these watches, if they do either issue a new watch or extend the current watch. So we're going to send it back over to Brendan and Carolyn. Right now, tornado warning has been discontinued. Still, we've got some very heavy rain to talk about, but a lot of us getting a chance to catch our breath just a little bit. Still could be a very busy evening and into the overnight. We'll talk more about that. This is all because of Tropical Storm Nicole. I'm Storm Team 2 Chief Meteorologist Rob Fowler. We're coming back after a break.